If you receive Social Security, SSI, or SSDI benefits, what I'm about to tell you could dramatically affect your monthly payments starting this October. The Trump administration has signed an executive order that will change how these programs operate forever, and millions of Americans have no idea what's coming. In the next few minutes, I'll break down exactly who will be affected by these changes, when they'll happen, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to protect your benefits. I'll also reveal some hidden positive changes that could actually help you get faster approvals and better service. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down complex financial news into actionable advice you can use today. If this information helps you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more money-saving content that could change your financial future. Let's start with what's really happening behind the scenes. The White House is framing this executive order around three main objectives, but the reality is much more complex than they're letting on. First, they want to speed up disability determinations. Right now, it takes an average of 147 days to get a decision on your disability application. That's nearly 5 months of waiting while you can't work and have no income. The administration promises to cut this time significantly. Second, they're implementing new fraud detection technology. This sounds good on paper. Who doesn't want to stop fraud? But this technology will be monitoring every aspect of your financial life in real time. Every paycheck, every bank deposit, every change in your living situation will be tracked immediately. Third, and this is where it gets concerning for many recipients, they're dramatically increasing the frequency of eligibility reviews. If you're currently reviewed every 3 years, that might become every year. If you're reviewed annually, it might become every 6 months. But here's what they're not telling you up front. The administration claims over $2.3 billion in improper payments were made last year alone. While some of this was genuine fraud, much of it was honest mistakes or people who didn't understand the complex reporting requirements. The Congressional Budget Office has quietly estimated that these measures will reduce Social Security and SSI spending by $8.2 billion over the next 5 years. That money has to come from somewhere, and it's coming from reduced payments to current recipients. Now, not everyone will be affected equally by these changes. If you're receiving regular Social Security retirement benefits and you're over 65, you can breathe a little easier. Most of these changes won't affect you directly. Your payments should continue as normal, and the new fraud prevention measures are actually designed to protect your benefits in the long run. However, if you're a veteran receiving SSDI based on a service-connected disability, you need to pay attention. The executive order specifically calls for enhanced verification of military disability claims. This doesn't mean your benefits are being targeted for removal, but you may need to provide updated medical records much more frequently than before. Parents of children receiving SSI are facing a major change. Annual reviews will now be required for all child recipients under 18. Previously, some children went years without a review. This means you'll need to keep detailed records of every medical appointment and any changes in your child's condition throughout the year. If you're unemployed and receiving SSDI, the SSA will be monitoring your work activity much more closely. The new order includes specific language about work incentive monitoring, meaning any income you earn while on disability will be scrutinized immediately. Even small amounts of income that were previously overlooked could now trigger investigations. For disabled individuals under 50, the changes are particularly significant. The process to get approved for benefits will become more difficult, and reviews will occur every 12 months instead of every 3 years. This increased frequency means more paperwork, more doctor's visits, and more opportunities for benefits to be suspended or terminated due to administrative errors. Let's talk about the specific dates when these changes will hit. Mark these on your calendar because missing these deadlines could cost you your benefits.
October 1st, 2025 is when real-time income verification begins. This is huge. Every time you or your spouse receives a paycheck, that information will be shared with the SSA immediately. No more waiting for annual reports to catch discrepancies. If you work a few hours and don't report it within 30 days, the system will know, and you could face immediate penalties. The days of the SSA being slow to catch unreported income are over. November 15th, 2025 brings new medical review requirements. The SSA is introducing updated, much more detailed medical forms that your doctors will need to complete. These forms may require additional testing that wasn't previously necessary. This could mean more doctor visits and higher copays for beneficiaries. Your doctor might need to order specific tests just to fill out the SSA forms, and insurance doesn't always cover these additional requirements. January 1st, 2026 marks the start of annual living situation verification for all SSI recipients. You'll need to provide proof of rent, utilities, household members, and any changes in living arrangements every single year. Miss this deadline and your payments will be suspended immediately. There's no grace period. Along with these changes, each state will be creating what they're calling benefit integrity units. These are teams specifically dedicated to investigating what they consider high-risk cases. The criteria for being flagged as high risk include frequent moves, multiple income sources, or families with several people receiving benefits. If you're flagged, expect much more scrutiny of your case. But it's not all bad news. There are some positive changes hidden in the details of this executive order that could actually help you. The administration is allocating $500 million specifically for modernizing SSA systems. This should result in faster processing times, fewer lost applications, and improved customer service. The goal is to reduce call wait times from over an hour to under 20 minutes by next summer. If you've ever spent half your day on hold trying to reach the SSA, you know how valuable this improvement could be. There's also something called a safe harbor provision for honest reporting. If you report changes in your situation, whether it's income, living arrangements, or medical conditions, within 30 days, you won't face penalties even if those changes affect your eligibility. This encourages honest communication with the SSA and protects you from punishment for being transparent about your circumstances. The trial work period for disabled workers is being extended from 9 months to 12 months. This gives you a full year to try working part-time without risking your benefits. This is actually a significant improvement that could help many people transition back to work without the fear of losing their safety net. Certain medical conditions will get fast-tracked approvals. Applications for ALS, end-stage renal disease, and veterans with 100% service-connected disability rating will be processed within 30 days, down from the current 5-month average. If you have one of these conditions, this change could be life-changing. So what do you need to do right now to protect yourself and your family? First, start keeping detailed records immediately. With increased review frequency, you'll need to provide documentation much more often. Create a folder, either physical or digital, for all SSA correspondence, medical reports, pay stubs, rent receipts, and utility bills. Organization isn't optional anymore, it's essential for keeping your benefits. Second, if you're considering applying for benefits, do it sooner rather than later. The new rules will make initial applications more complicated and the approval process more stringent. If you qualify under the current rules, submit your application as soon as possible. Don't wait for the new system to be implemented. Third, report all income and changes promptly. With real-time income monitoring starting in October, unreported income will be caught immediately. Understand your state's work incentive rules and report every penny you earn, even if it seems insignificant. The $20 you made selling something online could trigger an investigation if it's not reported. Fourth, prepare for more frequent reviews by scheduling regular appointments with your doctors. Your medical records need to be current and comprehensive. Don't wait until you receive a review notice to update your medical file. Stay ahead of the process by maintaining ongoing relationships with your healthcare providers. Fifth, consider seeking professional help, especially if your case is complicated. The new rules are complex and mistakes can be costly. Many disability attorneys work on contingency, meaning they only get paid if you win your case. If you're facing a review or appeal, professional representation might be worth the investment. Let's be honest about what's really happening here. The Congressional Budget Office's estimate of $8.2 billion in reduced spending over 5 years means that not everyone currently receiving benefits will keep them. Some of those savings will come from removing people who genuinely no longer qualify, but some will come from people who simply can't navigate the new, more complex system. If you're already struggling financially, now is the time to plan ahead. Start exploring local food banks and utility assistance programs. Look into housing support options in your community. Connect with local disability advocacy groups that can provide free help with SSA issues. Building these connections now, while you still have your benefits, is much easier than scrambling for help after they've been suspended. Don't underestimate the power of advocacy. Contact your representatives, regardless of your political affiliation. Your elected officials need to hear how these changes affect real people in their districts. Share your story. Explain how these changes will impact your daily life, your family, and your ability to survive. Politicians often make decisions based on abstract numbers, but personal stories can change minds and influence policy. Connect with local advocacy groups in your community. Most areas have organizations that provide free assistance with SSA issues. These groups can help you review your case, file appeals if necessary, and navigate the new rules as they're implemented. They often have experience with SSA procedures that can be invaluable when dealing with complex situations. Stay informed and prepared. The SSA has promised to release more detailed guidance in the coming months, including specific timelines, new forms, and clearer eligibility criteria. Follow trusted sources for updates, and don't rely on social media for official information. When new guidance is released, read it carefully or have someone explain it to you if needed. Looking ahead, the next 18 months will bring significant changes to how Social Security, SSI, and SSDI operate. While some improvements like faster processing times and better customer service will benefit everyone, the increased scrutiny and more frequent reviews will create challenges for many recipients. Remember, you're not alone in facing these changes. Millions of Americans are dealing with the same uncertainty and concerns. There's strength in community, and there are resources available to help you navigate this transition. The key takeaways are simple but crucial. Not all recipients will be affected equally. Retirees over 65 will see minimal changes, while disabled individuals, veterans, and families with children on SSI will face much more scrutiny. Documentation is more important than ever, so start organizing your records now. Don't hesitate to seek professional help if your situation is complicated. And most importantly, stay informed as new information becomes available. These changes to Social Security, SSI, and SSDI are complex and concerning for many people. But by staying informed, keeping thorough records, and reaching out for help when needed, you can protect yourself and your loved ones. Knowledge truly is power, especially when it comes to protecting benefits that you depend on for survival. If this video helped you understand what's coming and how to prepare, please hit that like button and subscribe to Financial Area for more updates on these changes as they develop. Share this information with anyone you know who receives these benefits. They need to know what's coming so they can prepare too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive deeper into specific strategies for different types of benefit recipients.